every week or so I'm going to be putting out ideas that I glean from the books that I've read to hopefully do a few things. One, encourage you to read, because when you start reading, a lot of doors unlock for you in terms of the epiphanies that you have, the ideas that you have, and ultimately just the way you look at life just expands in so many ways. And or if you are not the type of person that is ready to read yet, hopefully you can still go on the journey of happiness and health with me as you share and apply the ideas that I share with you in your life. So today we're going to be talking about the abundance loop and core values based on the book, based on the ideas of the book that I just finished reading called The Abundance Loop by Juliana Park. So definitely pick it up. It's a good personal development book, and I really like how she sprinkles over financial advice, as she is a financial advisor. That's her background. And I think those ideas are good too. But the two main concepts that I glean from it and that I think are most noteworthy are, the first is what the abundance loop is. So the abundance loop. The abundance loop is basically this mentality that some people have that thrives off of gratitude, that ultimately provides a sense of peace of mind when you go about your life, and then ultimately affects the actions that you take, which therefore create the outcomes that come about in your life to be abundant in nature. Basically, if you're in the abundance loop, you're the type of person that counts what they have. I have a car, I have a house, I have a family, I have my fitness, I have teeth, I have eyes, I have a beautiful life. You're that type of person. Conversely, if you're in the scarcity loop, it's a mentality which is the polar opposite of the abundance loop, in which you act off of fear, which this fear makes you anxious when you're doing things in your life. Therefore, as it influences the actions that you do in your life, it ultimately creates negative outcomes and scarce outcomes in nature. Basically, you're the type of person, if you're in the scarcity loop, that counts what they don't have. I have a lack of money, I don't have love, I don't have enough friends, I don't have this, I don't have that. So these two paradigms, or these two mentalities, describes the people that are generally successful and describes the people that are generally, in that unsuccessful scarcity loop. So that's one thing there. The other concept that I glean from it are what is called core values, and the author does a very beautiful job in teaching you how to identify what your core values are. So just as it sounds, your core values are whatever you value in life. So for example, for me it's fitness, health, personal development, laughter, humor, good friends, good company, and overall pushing everyone that I know and even myself to grow as much as possible in terms of their health and their happiness. So she asks, after she helps you identify what those core values are, she asks, in terms of time and money, are you spending those things on things that are in line with your core values, or are you spending time and money on things that are not necessarily aligned with your core values? So for example, for me, am I spending time and money on healthy food, on books that make me smarter, on TV shows or videos that have content that make me laugh? Or am I spending time and money on alcohol or watching movies that don't really help me, or feeding into Facebook news that again doesn't really help me? Going back to the abundance loop and the scarcity loop, as you identify your core values when you go about life, I feel like the best application for the scarcity loop and abundance loop is when quote-unquote negative life events happen. So if it's a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one, or if you're just moving from one stage of your life to another, are you the type of person that when those major events happen, does that trigger a scarcity loop in you or an abundance loop in you? So very quickly, just an example, let's say you lost your job. Then are you the type of person that says that triggers in your mind a scarcity loop in which you say, oh, I lost my job, that's because I I never am heard, that's why I just don't have enough skills, I could never get another job, man, my life sucks, sucks. Or are you the type of person that's like, no, you know, even though this happened, I am still very abundant in my life, I'm still going to be able to give value to other employers or even my friends, or maybe take this time to enjoy the abundance of time that I have for myself. That's a good example. My 2 questions for you are, number 1, are you currently in the abundance loop or the scarcity loop? Again, basically, are you someone that counts what they do have or counts what they don't have? Number 2, the second question is, what are your core values? I want to hear.